Right. I already went over the basics of the news journal assignment in the weekly overview video. So the purpose of this particular video is not to go over all of that again. I'm just going to briefly repeat and say that for each day for 7 days, you need to create 3 entries in a document that you call your news journal. Um, those 3 entries need to be about the same or similar topics, and they need to be from 3 different sources. Now, some of you may not really be used to finding news on your own. So, how do you do that? What do you do? Well, here's something that you can do. So, I just typed in headline news into Google, and you can do this in any of your search engines. Um, and I got a very large number of results in a second. We have the top stories. You can see that 2 of the top stories come from the New York Post and one from CNN. And then we could keep going and find that we have top stories from CBS Los Angeles, Fox News, NBC News, Politico, the New York Times, CBS DFW, and WBRC are some of these top stories that are somewhat recent in just the last several hours today. Um, but you can see that most of them aren't about the same topic. They were several different topics, right? So what you could do is just continue scrolling down, and you can see that there are links to CNN, specifically CNN headline news. There's Fox News, breaking news, latest headline news. There's NBC News. There's NPR headline news. There's ABC. There's Yahoo. And then there's even some videos for those of you who maybe want to throw in a video or two. You can use the view all to see the rest of the videos, or you could click on video um, up here at the top. And then you've got some related searches down here and Google News. Don't forget Google News here. So you can see that you have lots of different sources here. And one of the things that you could do is just start clicking on them. So you open up CNN and you see, after we wait for my very slow computer, um, you see different headlines here. CDC mishandled rollout of new mask guidelines, Gupta says. So Dr. Sanjay Gupta. All right, so maybe you want to take that as one of your sources. Okay, so here's one, and then you can go back to your headline news search. And you can say, this time, okay, I did CNN, so let's have something that's very different from CNN. And let's open up Fox News. And we're going to look here and see, okay, here's flip-flopping Fauci. Here's something, what does top infectious disease expert think about CDC's mask whiplash? So here's something with the masking going on. So, why don't we open that? And so there's two on, closely, basically the same topic. And then let's see, how about if I go to, say, NPR? Let's see what NPR has to say. Okay, and we have anything about the masking. Let's see. So far, not really finding anything. Oh, here we go. Vaccine in, masks off. Does this mean it's time to go back to the office? That's related to the masking issue. So let's open that one. Okay, so now I have three articles about masks or having to do with the masking issue, and they're from three different sources and three different kinds of sources. Well, like three different viewpoints in the sources. So I think that's a good thing. So then what I would do is I would go and I would collect the information that I need to collect, which was the headline. So I'd probably, because I'm lazy, would just, highlight, oh, and here's the date and timestamp, and why not get the author while we're at it, do a whole uh, copy of that, and then I would open up my document and paste that in, and then come back and read my article and write my brief summary of my article. And I can see it's not even that long. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this one's not even that long. So great. Hey, I chose well for this particular article. Um, so yeah, so there's just a little tiny bit here, but there are links to other things. So, maybe I want to check out one of those because remember, 3 is my minimum. I can have more than 3. Or I can say, hey, this one's not really what I wanted. So, um, here's the one that's actually more along the lines of the other ones. So maybe I'll go and I'll check this one out and see what it has to say. Okay, so that is what you're going to do. You're going to do that each day for 7 days. We're going to be using this material next week, or I mean, after you submit it on the 31st, we're going to actually be using this material to do another activity, and that will lead us further into the literature review project. If you have any questions or concerns, as always, let me know.